Have you ever heard footsteps in your house when you knew you were completely alone? Not imagination, not dreams. Real footsteps, measured, heavy, impossible to ignore. This is a true story from a man who believed his house was safe until the footsteps began. The first night. My name is Zayan. I moved into this house 2 months ago. A small, old, 2-story house just outside the city. Cheap rent, quiet area. It felt like a fresh start. I wanted peace, privacy, and silence. Silence wasn't what I got. It started on a Wednesday night. The power went out because of rain. I lit a candle, opened a window, and sat on my bed scrolling my phone. That's when I heard it. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, coming from the hallway outside my bedroom. Thump, thump, thump. I froze. My first thought wasn't ghosts. It was someone had broken into my house. I grabbed the nearest thing, a metal water bottle, and walked to the door. The footsteps stopped. Silence. I opened the door fast. Nothing. Hallway was empty. Maybe it was just the house settling, I thought. Old wood expands, makes sound, right? I convinced myself it was normal. I shouldn't have. Every night exactly at 2:43 a.m. 3 nights later, I heard it again. This time, I checked the clock. 2:43 a.m. Exact. Thump, thump, thump. Same slow footsteps. But this time, the footsteps moved. From one end of the hallway to the other, back and forth, like someone pacing. I opened the bedroom door again. And once more, nothing. I checked the front door, windows, back door, all locked. There was no sign of forced entry. No reason for footsteps. When I went back to bed, I could feel something watching me. A pressure, like the darkness itself was breathing. The footsteps follow. Days passed. I kept hearing them. Always at 2:43 a.m. No matter what room I slept in. Living room, guest room, even on the floor. The footsteps found me. One night, I placed my phone recording app near the hallway and slept in the living room. Next morning, I listened to the audio. At exactly 2:43 a.m., the recording captured thump, thump, thump. Clear, detailed footsteps. Then something worse. A whisper, right next to the mic. Barely audible, but I swear it said, "He's here." I deleted the recording. Not because I was scared, but because I knew if I listened to it again, I'd never sleep. The neighbor. Desperate for answers, I asked my neighbor, a man in his late 60s, if he ever heard strange sounds in this area. He stared at the house behind me, not at my face, at my house. Then he asked, "You rented that house?" I nodded. He sighed deeply. "There are things in that house that don't like being noticed." I laughed nervously. He didn't. He told me years ago, a man lived there alone. Every night, he walked the hallway because he couldn't sleep, pacing, back and forth, back and forth. He had insomnia and became obsessed with the idea someone was watching him. The man's mental state deteriorated. One night, at 2:43 a.m., he hung himself from the staircase railing. His last recorded words were, "Maybe now the footsteps will stop." The camera test. I wanted proof. I set up a security camera facing the hallway. That night, I sat awake, watching the camera feed from my phone. 2:40 a.m. My heart was pounding. 2:42 a.m. I held my breath. 2:43 a.m. Nothing at first. Then the hallway light flickered. Camera shook slightly like something brushed past it. And suddenly, footsteps. Not heard, seen. Shadows. Shadows shaped like feet, walking from one wall to the other. No body, just footsteps. Foot, foot, foot. My throat dried. I tried to get up from the couch, but my body refused. Fear held me pinned. Then the footsteps stopped. Outside my bedroom door. My phone vibrated, motion detected. On the screen, a notification popped up. Movement detected, doorway. The camera feed showed my bedroom door slowly opening. No wind, no person, just opening. Something stood there, invisible, but present, watching. The neighbor. Desperate for answers, I asked my neighbor, a man in his late 60s, if he ever heard strange sounds in this area. He stared at the house behind me, not at my face, at my house. Then he asked, "You rented that house?" I nodded. He sighed deeply. "There are things in that house that don't like being noticed." I laughed nervously. He didn't. He told me years ago, a man lived there alone. Every night, he walked the hallway because he couldn't sleep, pacing, back and forth, back and forth. He had insomnia and became obsessed with the idea someone was watching him. The man's mental state deteriorated. One night, at 2:43 a.m., he hung himself from the staircase railing. His last recorded words were, "Maybe now the footsteps will stop." They didn't. The escape. I ran, barefoot, out the front door. Didn't lock it. Didn't look back. I didn't stop running until I reached the main road. I stayed at a friend's house that night. The next morning, I returned with him to pack my things. The house was different. Quiet. Still. On the staircase, we found footprints in a thin layer of dust. Bare feet, leading up the stairs, ending at the railing. The same railing where the man had ended his life. I left that house in less than an hour. I never went back. People say houses don't remember anything. They're wrong. Some houses remember everything. And some footsteps. Never stop walking, even in the dark.